Emotional beats. Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. We will be diving into emotional beats, how to find them and how to use them. So straight up off the bat, how to find emotional beats. They are in the text. Have a look at your monologue again. Before finding your own emotional beats, have a look as to how this monologue is written. Go back a few episodes and have a look at the text. Writers use their punctuation and grammar in wonderful ways. In ways when you are reading, you can see where they are intending to make a more powerful statement with exclamation marks, capital letters, full stops with ellipsis, where there is more of a gap of silence to maybe portray some suspense. There are commas where we can take little breaths for ourselves and slow the sentence down maybe. Longer sentences, maybe that's trying to make you to say the words quicker. Maybe this character is in panic or is nervous. There are those little things that you need to see in the text, how the writer has used their grammar and punctuation to illustrate emotions and the rhythm of the piece. Guys, the value of a well-placed pause is magnificent. It can be dramatic. It can hold such suspension. Think of it as music. When you're jamming and and the song is building up, and then there's a pause, there's just that lift and then the beat drops. The beat drops so powerfully. I like looking at speeches and monologues as a musical piece, There's a rhythm, pauses, there's moments where it's a crescendo, it gets louder or it gets softer. Think of the journey, emotional journeys. And that brings me on to my next point. Guys, I don't want you to confuse loud for anger. When you're angry, for example, that doesn't always mean you are shouting. When you are in a happy emotive state, that doesn't mean you are laughing. When you are sad, it doesn't mean you are crying. So don't use volume as an indicator of your emotions. Don't get that twisted. By all means, if you do feel you need to increase your volume for a statement, go for it. Again, like I say, this is the time to play as much as you can. Go big or go home. But then while you do go big on certain sentences, try say them in a softer voice and then use your breath to convey that emotion. Because if I'm angry, maybe I'll be breathing deeper. I'll be clenching my jaw. My eyes will intensify. You will know that I'm angry with the words that I'm using. Words are so powerful. Trust that your message is being portrayed. Trust your instincts. Trust your intuition. We know emotions. We are human beings. Look at how your parents, when they get excited or when they get angry at you. Look at yourself when you get angry with your friends or your siblings. How do those play out? What is that feeling you have inside? Looking at our monologue with the emotional climax, most of the time, monologues will start at a pretty average state, and as you go along, the emotions build up to a point. The monologue can stop there, or we come back down and it stops wherever it wants to. You need to see in the text, where is this person being moved the most? And you need to know from your backstory, why is this character reacting like this? Why are they saying this? What has happened in the past for them to be in this situation, and why are they acting like this? I find emotional beats is by looking at other actors that have performed certain monologues. And for us, we're doing movie monologues. So look at the movie, see how the actor has portrayed certain emotions, where they pause, where they speed up, where they increase their volume, their projection, where they slow things down, all those things. I know I said make it your own, but we are actors. It's no competition. We can learn so much from each other. So maybe it's worthwhile to look at their performance and take things that you can use to enhance your performance. Emotional doesn't mean I didn't use my words, but you know what I mean. Emotional beats are also comedic. If there is something funny that you have read in your monologue, use that. Don't force comedy because that's when it gets a bit awkward. And that's comedy is truthful and that's why it's funny. Emotional beats also connect the audience to our character, and you need to just ask yourself what you want to leave the audience with. Do you want to leave the audience reflecting on their own reality? Do you want to leave them happy for this character? Do you want to leave them sad for this character? Do you want to leave them wanting to know more, like where this character is going? Do you want to teach them something? Is this monologue didactic? Look what you can learn from the monologue and make sure what you take from it is what you give the audience. And finally, another point, when I mentioned the journey of a monologue or a piece, just the exponential emotional journey, don't always think that the emotional climax will come in the middle or towards the end of the monologue. You must be aware of the mental, emotional state your character is in at the top of the monologue. What have they done before in this movie that led them to this point? This is all about trusting your instincts. Go for it. If it feels off, go for it again. Make it bigger. Get all that big stuff out the way. And then in turn, bring it back to something truthful. If the truthful is that the big performance, you will know that. Trust your analysis that you've had of how people navigate their lives. That's it with emotional beats. Next episode, we will be diving into methods of learning your words and making them stick in your brain. All right. Cheers, guys.